Welcome back to 23 Minute Reads with me, Maya D. This is kind of like my accountability vlog because in these videos, I share with you my takeaways from my current reading. Right now, that is, let's see if we can get away from the glare. Joan Myers Brown and the Audacious Hope of the Black Ballerina. This is my 12th book of my 23 to 23 challenge, where I'm reading 23 minutes per day, every day, as an action of self-love, as an investment into myself, and as a way of providing myself with some consistency in an ever-changing world. Hoping that you will join me along in this journey by liking this video, dropping some comments down there in that comment section so that there's an actual dialogue going on. Having in mind that while I have several decades of experience as a dancer, an educator, and a curriculum writer, I am not the know-all be-all for this book. I'm simply providing a space for dialogue. Well, this is episode 2 of book 12, and I read pages, I'm looking down at my notes, read pages 33 through 74, and here are my 3 takeaways. Takeaway number 1 is equal opportunity. So in the spectacularly Black on Black 1940s to the 1950s chapter, we find these words. Dance is not an equal opportunity profession, end quote. BDG reminds the reader that during this time, there were no There were no arts high schools. And that these after-school ballet clubs held both rehearsal and performances and kind of acted as pre-professional training. As I read this section, I was reminded of Crystal U. Davis's book, a book that we recently read, Dance and Belonging, because that book speaks heavily about implicit bias. Because in this section, BDG reminds us, the reader, that teachers accepted students into those ballet clubs based on skin color, size, body type, and competency, or whatever other standards aligned with their creative vision. This is a practice that carries on today, and I found that in my own practice, creating rubrics helped to enlighten me about my own biases and help me to create opportunities for those who want to enjoy the world of dance. Takeaway number 2 is aware. Let me kind of adjust these things on my desk so that I can give these notes. In that same section, that spectacularly Black on Black section, we find these words from JB. I think a lot of times I wasn't even demonstrating correctly because he would correct me, but the fact that he would call upon me made me feel aware that he knew I was there, end quote. In this previous quote, JB speaks about her time in class with Anthony Tudor. BDG has mentioned that while Blacks were allowed into dance classes in New York during that time, they weren't always welcome and made to feel like they belonged in those classes. BDG offers that Tudor's level of awareness to JB may have helped other students in the class acknowledge the presence of those Black students in a positive and more engaging way. This also felt like a reminder that as an educator, we help to maintain and change the culture and the dynamics of our classes. Additionally, the fact that she wasn't perfect and still called upon to demonstrate the moves felt like both a way to build belonging and a way for students to see how the corrections can be applied, right? So they can see on this body, here's the thing that they're doing, and when you make this correction, here's how it looks. So they get to see that difference. They get to see that student journey. They get to see the improvement in real life and in real time. I like that. Takeaway number 3 is Carole Johnson. So during the 2020, 32nd annual IABD conference, that's the International Association for Blacks Dance and Conference, held in Philly. That was like literally right before the shutdown, right? I learned that there are more than 500 Indigenous groups in Australia. I also learned that we also learned in that experience some of the regional differences in the traditional dance form. And I also learned that there was a direct connection between Philadelphia, PA, and Australia. And that direct connection is Carole Johnson. Here's a quote from the book. Carole Johnson, another former Sydney student, became a modern dancer after moving to New York and then moved to Australia, where she pioneered the modern dance movement in the country, bringing Aboriginals into the fold of the country's previously segregated mainstream dance community. Wow, that's like really dope and amazing. This quote reminded me of the work that Pearl Primus did with Bathsheba in Australia and the necessity to remember their legacies, both the legacy of Pearl Primus and the legacy of Carole Johnson, to lift up these voices, to speak about their work and look for ways that it connects to the work that we're doing right now. But what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below, or just drop a book emoji in the comments below so that I know that you're here with me. You could also type the word book or drop the title of another amazing book. I'm always looking for something to read because there's some wonderful things out there. Remember to like and subscribe if you liked this video or found it interesting in any kind of way. Thank you for staying to the end. My name is Maya D. This has been 23-Minute Reads. Stay blessed, spread a good word, and I'll see you again soon. Take care.